So good morning everyone. Today we'll discuss about electric flux and Gauss law. So guys, remember in our online class we have talked about the factor called area. Yes or no? Area is a vector quantity, and since it's a vector quantity, so it has got both magnitude and direction as well. Yes or no, guys? So you remember, guys, the remember I have solved one example. I have taken a 3D picture where I have put the three different area and I told you the direction of area. Remember, suppose if there is a if area is x into y, so direction is along the z. Yes or no? Or if the area is y into z, then direction is along the x-axis. Yes or no? So direction is always perpendicular to the area, guys, for the open area or for the open surfaces. But for the closed surfaces, the direction of area is always radially outward. So these things you must remember, guys. Okay. So now let us discuss about the electric flux. Clear? Now, what may be the question, guys? So the question is, define the term electric flux. How is it related to the electric field intensity, and what is its SI unit? Okay, so guys, electric flux is nothing but the number of lines of force passing through an area, guys. Okay, this is what the simple definition of electric flux. Okay, now you see, you here there is a area which in the figure you see the area and the number of lines of electric lines of force. So you see the what is the direction of the area, guys? You see it is perpendicular direction. So you see that the direction of electric lines of force and the direction of area both are same direction. So what about the angle between the two is what? Simply zero. Yes or no? So you know the flux phi is equal to E dot ds, guys. You remember this? The formula is phi E is what the net flux, net electric flux is equal to E dot ds. Okay, so the dot product of two vector, area is a vector and electric field also is a vector, which is a scalar. So dot product of two vector is a scalar. Okay, so phi is equal to E dot ds. So we need to find the dot product of E and ds. So what is E dot ds, guys? A dot b is what? AB cos theta. Yes or no? So if you find the angle between the electric field lines of force and the area vector, both are in same direction. So the angle between the area and the electric field is what? Zero. So the maximum, what is cos 0 is 1. So maximum flux cut. Yes or no? Or maximum flux will be there. Yes or no, guys? So you see here, when the next figure is what? When the flux is moving in any direction. Okay, now you see the area direction is what? Perpendicular. But what about the electric field? You see, so electric field, I will take the normal component. So what is the component? If I break electric field in two component, so what is along the area is what? E cos theta. Yes or no, guys? So that's why it's written phi is equal to what? Normal component of E into surface area. Phi is equal to B dot ds, guys. Sorry, E dot ds. Okay, E for electric field into area dot ds. So what is the electric field, guys? Is what? E along the area direction is what? E cos theta into ds. So electric field come E dot del s or ds, whatever you can say. Okay, now these are the two conditions when we have taken the electric field is continuous or uniform in nature. Now what happens if there is a non-uniform electric field, guys? So there we consider a closed surface, guys. Okay, so now this is a closed surface where this closed surface we can able to break it into multiple times. Okay, and then we summation or add all the E dot ds or the dot product of electric field with the area, summation of all those is what give you the net flux. Yes or no, guys? So what? It's already written here, in case of the field E is non-uniform, we consider a closed surface as just like that. Now let us break the surface into n number of small surfaces like del S1, del S2 up to del S1, del Sn, and what are the electric field corresponding to all those areas is nothing but E1, E2 up to En. So what is overall net electric flux, guys, is what? E dot ds. So E1 dot del S1 for area 1, E2 dot del S2 for area 2, and likewise En dot del Sn for area n. Now just take the summation I is equal to 1 to n ei dot del si. Okay, guys, so this is how you gonna find the net electric flux in a closed surface. Okay, now moving on to the next. As I said, what is it's a scalar vector quantity. So guys, remember phi E is equal to E dot ds, where E and ds both are vector. So what is the dot product of two vectors? Is quite obviously scalar. Yes or no? So that's why it's a scalar quantity. And the unit, you can easily find it out. Okay, similarly, guys, your job is to find the dimension. Okay, because you know the dimension of electric field and dimension of area. Just multiply it and find the dimension of what? Electric flux. Okay, next is what, guys? Gauss theorem. Guys, this is one of the very important theorem. Trust me, Gauss theorem must be taught before the Coulomb's law, because Coulomb's law coming out from the Gauss law, not the Gauss law from the Coulomb's law. Clear? Now what the Gauss law says, guys? Gauss law says total flux is nothing but Q by epsilon naught, is what the mathematical term. Okay, from mathematics, phi E is equal to E dot ds, which is Q by epsilon naught. So it states that the total flux through a closed surface is 1 by epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed by the closed surface. Okay, so you always remember, we can able to find electric field by applying the Gauss law. Remember, always. Okay, we will discuss in the future class, don't worry. Now let us prove it, guys. Let us prove it. So now what happens? Now just take a Gaussian surface. So Gaussian surface is a plane where we apply the Gauss law. Simple. Where any surface where we can able to apply the Gauss law is what known as the Gaussian surface. Okay, now just take the Gaussian surface. This is what the charge Q, okay, which is at a distance small r. Yes or no, guys? So we need to find what? E dot ds. Total phi is what? E into E dot ds. So where is the direction of what, guys? Area. Remember I told you the direction of area is what? Radially outward for what? Closed surface. Yes or no? So you see, we can find easily, guys, here E dot ds equal to Q by epsilon naught. So this is the direction of E, and let us find E dot ds. Okay, so electric field at any point on the surface is what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. Kq by r square is what the electric field. Yes or no, guys? And this field points radially outward at all points on S. Also, any area element points radially outward to it. So the angle between the two is what? 0. See, guys, if you will find the electric field, so this is what the electric field. Yes or no? Or I can say this is this is what the electric field, or from this is what the electric field. So guys, you see the electric field, and since this is the closed surface, so area direction is always radially outward. So the angle between the E and ds is what? Simply 0. So we can find del phi E, or total flux, is equal to E dot ds, which is nothing but E ds cos theta, and theta is what? 0. So I can find E into ds. Yes or no, guys? E ds. So I can say here, since phi E is what? The integration of d phi E, which is nothing but d phi E is what? E dot ds. And since E is constant throughout the surface, so you find everywhere E is what? Constant. Yes or no, guys? So simply take E outside, and what is the integration of ds is, guys? Is S, or S is what? Total area of the sphere. So I can say E is what? We have found kq by r square is what? E into 4 pi r square is the area. So r square cancel, and 4 pi cancel. So what? Phi E remains. So phi E is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So guys, here you need to remember one thing. See, whatever the surface, the flux or the overall electric flux does not depends upon the shape, size, or the radius. You see here, phi E is simply Q by epsilon naught. It does not depends upon the radius. So even if you take the small radius or the larger radius, it remains the same, which is Q by epsilon naught. Clear, guys? Now we will going to find the field due to an infinite long charge wire. Okay, so what may be the question, guys? So question may be, apply Gauss law. This is the application of Gauss law, guys. Okay, so question may be, apply Gauss theorem to calculate the electric field of a thin infinite long straight line of a charge with a uniform charge density of lambda coulomb per meter. Okay, so guys, remember in the previous lectures we have studied about the charge distribution, line charge distribution, surface charge distribution, volume charge distribution, if you remember, guys. Okay, so for a cylinder can be an example of what? Line charge distribution, and we represent the line charge density is equal to lambda. Okay, so guys, this is what the diagram. We have taken a cylinder. Okay, so you see cylinder has two surfaces. Yes or no? Now one is what? Curved surfaces, and another is what? Flat surfaces. Yes or no, guys? Two surfaces are there. So we need to find what? E dot ds for both the surfaces, guys. Okay, so initially it has written, consider a thin infinite long straight wire having a uniform linear charge density lambda coulomb per meter. By symmetry, the electric field E of the line charge is directed radially outward. You see, guys, the electric field direction is always here, radially outward, and for this surface, the the area direction is also radially outward. But for this two flat surface, what is the area, guys? What is the electric field and area angle? Is simply 90 degree. Yes or no, guys? So what we will have to do, we'll have to add all the what electric field. Yes or no, guys? E dot ds we'll have to find. So you find E dot ds for this one is 0, because I mean the angle between the E and ds is what, 0, but for this and this one the angle between the E and ds is what, 90 degree. So what is cos 90, guys? Is simply 0. Yes or no? So that's why you find here E ds1 cos 0 plus E ds2 cos 90, E ds3 cos 90. So what is the final one is what? E into area of the curve. Yes or no, guys? So what is the area of the curve is what? 2 pi rl. Yes or no, guys? Simply 2 pi rl. So total flux E phi E is equal to E into 2 pi rl. But what is, guys, total charge? Since we know the lambda is equal to what? Lambda is what? Surface line charge density. So charge per length is equal to lambda. So what is charge equal to? Lambda into length. So that's why Q equal to lambda into length. Okay, so now just equate it, guys. E dot ds equal to q by epsilon naught. So where q is equal to what? Lambda L by epsilon naught is equal to E into 2 pi RL, which we have found out here. So just equate it and you'll get electric field E is equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught R. Okay, guys, this is very important question for the semester point of view. Please go detail through this. Okay, now moving on to the next, guys. Since electric field is a vector quantity, yes or no? So we need to put the direction. Yes or no? So see here, electric field, just I have put the direction lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught R and n cap. So n cap is the direction which is radially unit vector in a plane normal to the wire passing through the observation point. Okay, guys, simply n cap is what? The radially outward is the direction of electric field. As you can see here, this is the direction of electric field. Clear? Now moving on to the next, guys. You see, electric field due to a uniformly charged infinite plane state. Guys, this is also very important. Trust me, this is very important. Okay, so what may be the question? Apply Gauss theorem to calculate the electric field due to the infinite plane state of charge. Okay, so you know, now this is what the infinite plane state of charge, and what we have done, just we put the what? A Gaussian surface. Here in this case is what? Cylinder. Okay, so as shown in figure 1.98, this is just the figure here. This one is, consider a thin infinite plane state of charge with uniform space charge density sigma. Okay, so guys, here we will take the uniform, since this is a surface, so we will assume here surface charge density. Remember, so surface, we denote surface charge density by sigma, which is nothing but surface per, I mean, so charge per area. Yes or no? So its unit is coulomb per meter square. So we wish to calculate its electric field at a point P at distance r from it. Okay, so we will have to find electric field at P, which is at a distance r from the what? I can say the infinite plane state. Yes or no, guys? So you see here at each point here, what is the electric field direction is? Just radially, this is the direction of electric field. But guys, what is the direction of surface or the area? You just perpendicular. So you find it everywhere here or here. You find, you know, the E dot ds is simply 0, because the angle between the area vector and E is simply 90 degree. But here you find this is for this surface, as I said, remember, guys, cylinder has two surfaces. One is flat, one is curve. Okay, so we already found for curve, guys. Remember here for curve, this is what? Curve surface, the angle is what? 0. But for these two surfaces, the flat surface angle is 90. Similar thing, guys, here. Okay, so you find here E dot ds is 0, here E dot ds 0, because the angle between the two is what? 90 degree. But here for P and P ds, you see the area vector and electric field both are in same direction. So angle between them is what? Simply 0. So E dot ds is what? I can write EA plus EA, that is 2EA, guys. Okay, this thing which is written, please go through that. So total phi is, I can say, phi a EA plus EA, which is 2 times of E into A, where A is the area. Okay, this area, guys, A. Clear? Now let us apply the Gauss law. So phi E is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Yes or no? Or E dot ds equal to Q by epsilon naught. So phi E, which we have calculated, 2 into EA, which is equal to what is Q? Total charge is equal to sigma into A by epsilon naught. So while you know solving it, you will get it. E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So since electric field is a vector, so we need to give a direction, guys. Simply direction. Electric field direction already mentioned here. Okay, so we will have to notice, give a notation by n cap. Okay, and clearly from the above, we can say that if the sheet is positively charged, that is sigma is greater than 0, so the field is directed away from it. Okay, or if the sheet is negatively charged, it means sigma is less than 0, so the field is directed towards it. Okay, so this is what infinite plane state, guys. And the last one is what? Field due to a uniformly charged thin spherical shell. Guys, this is again a very important question for semester point of view. Okay, this is also the application of the Gauss law. Now apply question may be apply Gauss theorem to show that for a spherical shell the electric field inside the shell vanishes, whereas outside it the field is as if all the charges had been concentrated at the center. Okay, now let us find it, guys. So what happened? Just take a Gaussian, a spherical shell as shown in figure here in 1.101. Okay, this is what we have to consider spherical shell of charge of radius capital R. Okay, this is the radius of the spherical shell. Okay, with a uniform charge density sigma. So guys, you see here you cannot take the rho or the volume charge density, because once you apply a charge, then charge will concentrate on the surface. So that's why the charge is distributed through the surface. So that's why we will take the sigma or the surface charge distribution. Okay, now see, whenever you apply the Gauss law, guys, you see the symmetrical, the surface must be symmetric. Okay, so for symmetry we see that the electric field E at any point is radially and has same magnitude at all the point equidistant from the center of the cell. Yes or no, guys? You see this is the electric field direction. Just draw a line like this, you understand, or line like this. Okay, guys, or line like this. So if you draw the line, if you see the electric field is radially outward. Clear, guys? Now what we will have to do, let us take a point P, which is first outside of the spherical shell, then on the spherical shell, and then inside the spherical shell. There will be three cases, guys. Okay, so let us go for the first cases. When point P lies outside the spherical shell, the total charge Q inside the Gaussian surface is the charge on the shell of radius capital R and area 4 pi r square. See, guys, the first question is what? Let us calculate the electric field at the point P, which lies away from the spherical shell. So first what we have to do, we have to draw or take a Gaussian surface. I said what is Gaussian surface? It's a surface where we can able to apply the Gauss law. Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? So since the charge distribution is what's surface charge distribution, so what is sigma is equal to charge per area? Yes or no, guys? Sigma equal to charge per area. So what is charge equal to? Sigma into area. So guys, sigma is surface charge density. And what about the area, guys? Since charges are on the what? On the surface of the cell, so the radius is what? Capital R, you can see here. Yes or no? So that's why here Q is equal to 4 pi r square into sigma. Clear? Now what is the flux through the Gaussian surface, guys? So you see we need to find the flux through the Gaussian surface here. Okay, so what is the radius here? We have assumed is what? Small r, which is greater than the capital R. So I can say here phi E is equal to electric field into area. What is the area of a Gaussian surface? Is 4 pi small r square. Now equate both the E dot ds or phi E is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So what is phi E, guys? So which is nothing but E into 4 pi r square, which is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Now what is E is equal? Just divide it. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by r square. Okay, so this is what you can say electric field what? At outside. Clear, guys? Where R is greater than capital R. Clear? Now next is what? The next question is what? When the charge lies on the surface, guys. So let us assume the what? Gaussian surface on the surface, just on the surface. So you see here what is the Gauss law? We know Gauss law is equal to E dot ds, which is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Okay, so as it is, what is ds? So the area is, guys, area you see 4 pi r square. Yes or no? Because the charge is on the surface. Okay, so 4 pi into capital R square, which is nothing but Q by epsilon naught. So can you find electric field from there, guys? Just divide it. So E is equal to equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into R square, for R is equal to capital R. Yes or no? This is what the electric field on the surface of the spherical shell. Now the third one, guys, what happened if the point lies within the Gaussian or within the what? Spherical shell. Now here let us assume the charge density is what? Is sigma, not the volume charge distribution. I said again and again, because the surface charge resides or distribute on the surface of the conductor, so we cannot take the volume charge distribution, even though there is a material inside the the cell, but charge stays on the outside of the surface. Okay, so guys, what happens here? So we will assume here the Gaussian surface inside, yes or no, whose radius is small r. The capital R is the radius of the spherical cell, yes or no? Similar, same thing, guys. So first of all, apply Gauss law. So what is phi e, guys? Phi e on the Gaussian surface, what is that? 4 pi r square, yes or no? E into 4 pi r square. Guys, see, we are finding the total flux on the Gaussian surface, and Gaussian surface is what? The inner sphere, yes or no? So the radius of inner sphere is small r, so I can write here E, yeah, I mean E dot ds means what? Or phi E is equal to E dot ds, which is nothing but area is what? Electric field is what? E, which is radially outward, and area is what? 4 pi small r square, because we are finding it on the Gaussian surface. Clear, guys? Now applying Gauss law, so phi E is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So guys, you know what is phi E, E into 4 pi r square is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Now guys, remember here one thing, since charge stays on the outer surface of the conductor, yes or no? So what is the charge on the Gaussian surface right now? Here is 0. So if there is no charge, what about electric field? Is 0. So that's what here. Since charge is 0, electric field is 0. Clear, guys? So this is what the diagram you see when the how the electric field varies with radius. So inside the surface, electric field is what? 0, as we have just calculated. Then on the surface, electric field was 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R square. And then when it R is more than small r is more than capital R, then it decreases or inversely proportional to R square. Okay, guys. So hope this will clear all your doubt. If you have at all any doubt, we will discuss it in the what? Online classes. Thank you so much, everyone.